Mike Rosenstreich joins us now from Hexagon Resources. Mike, big news on the downstream end of your McIntosh project with the achievement of 5 nines graphite purity in pilot plant testing. Tell us about this.
Well, it's a big milestone for us, Danielle, in that we've previously demonstrated that we're able to purify small samples, some hundreds of grams of material to this 5 nines level, and now we've demonstrated achieving 5 nines with a sample of nearly 20 kilograms. So that's a huge milestone for us on the way to commercialising our downstream business, and a lot of our downstream business is actually predicated on differentiating ourselves by being able to achieve this very high purity material in a low cost manner. So that's the importance of the article.
Does this 20 kilo sample, does that tell you about commercial level production?
It's a first step in terms of it demonstrates to our customers that we're able to now achieve this at a much larger scale, and it attracts their interest because when you're producing something that's 5 nines purity, that's at what's called nuclear grade. And so it's differentiating from, say, battery grade, because battery grade material, for example, which is also a high spec, is 99.95. So at 99.999, we have 5 times less impurities. And in these high-tech applications, whether it's batteries or some other high-tech industrial or electronics use, a key way to mitigate risks is to have high purity material.
So how does this differentiate Hexagon in the global graphite world?
Well, look, I think we're trying to differentiate ourselves by focusing on the markets that we're able to access. So I would argue that we're not necessarily competing with many of the other sort of emerging graphite players. Our advantage, or the aspect that we're looking to differentiate, is that our material, our flake from McIntosh, is easily purified. And what easily purified means is in a low cost, using a certain type of refining technology that we outline in the release. It's an electrothermal fluidized bed furnace, and that's a continuous process. And so all of those things introduce efficiencies, both from a low cost basis and being able to achieve these very high technical purities. So the low cost is from the fact that it's a continuous process. And when I describe it as low cost, I'm comparing myself to the sort of the environmentally hazardous methods that are used in China, where you're employing hydrofluoric and various cocktail mixes of acids. And so that's the benchmark we're using. And the ultra efficiency is a manifestation of the fact that the impurities at McIntosh appear to sit on the surface of the flake. So when we subject them to these very high temperatures for short periods of time, these impurities volatilize and disappear quite easily off the flake to give us those outcomes.
Can you remind us about the value of the markets for this nuclear graphite?
Well, nuclear graphite, yes, because there is a standard that describes nuclear grade graphite materials, and we hit and indeed exceed that standard. I'm not suggesting that our markets are all destined for the nuclear industry of any kind. What our products are destined for is deep markets. And so we're looking for markets with scale and premium pricing. Now, your question in terms of what sort of price multiples are we looking for, depending on the application, obviously, but generally from batteries across the industrials and into other sort of specialist uses, we're targeting areas, say, around $8 to in excess of $20,000 per tonne. And one of the really interesting markets, which has significant depth, it's over 1 million tonnes a year, is in the ultra-high powered electrode markets, where we're looking to displace a portion of synthetic graphite, which dominates that market at present, and add small blends of our highly crystalline natural flake graphite to that. And that's a high value material, and that's a really deep market, so that serves as a good example.
Moving to the upstream end of the McIntosh project, what is the latest with the DFS works going on with your partner there, MinRes?
Yeah, look, MinRes have been really busy on doing the drilling program, which concluded in late October. All of that material got shipped down to Perth. Right now it's being cut and processed. Some of it's being shipped off for assay already. I think so. There's a lot of attention and activity around getting that feasibility study completed as quickly as possible. You'll recall that the basis for that agreement with MinRes is that they've got to fully fund all of our activities through to commercial production to earn a 51% share. And we have definite timelines, which are kind of like end dates, and both sides of the joint venture are very focused on that. As a result of all of the activity, I think the first milestones that we'll see coming out of that in terms of the upstream business will be around probably late January, early February, March will be assay results and a resource upgrade reflecting the recent drilling that was completed.
So those are the next key flows. Thanks for those milestones. And Mike, thank you for your time.
Look, thank you very much, and let me wish you and your viewers a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I can promise you that from a Hexagon perspective, we've got a pretty exciting 2019 lined up. So thank you.
Fabulous. You too. Thank you. Bye.